Hello, everyone. It is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger, coming to you with Podcasting Your Purpose series. That's right. I've been doing these Podcasting Your Purpose series, and today we're going to talk about 5 ideas for podcasting your products. If you have a product and or a service, creating a podcast to showcase them is a great way in which to do so. But before I even give you a few tips, let me leave you with this. You want to educate, not sell. That's right. Don't sell. Educate your potential clients, your customers, your readers, and your listeners. Because you know what? Podcasting is a great way to share your content. It's a great way to market your brand. It's a great way to get interest. But just like any other social media platform, people do not go to social media to be sold to. They go to socialize. So educate them about your product, about your service, about your brand before you start asking them to buy something. It can be a challenge. If you have a product that is a physical product, you need to show that product, and you're creating a podcast. There are ways in which to, promote it, not, visually. You can talk about how it works, why it's good for you, whatever the case may be. If you are a distributor for a particular company, you can educate your listeners about that product, how it will help you. For example, let's just use a coffee or a tea product. Speaking of which, I'm going to grab my coffee right now. But suppose you have a tea that helps somebody lose weight or detox. You can talk about the health factors involved in using your product. And again, at the end, you can use that call to action if they want more information to connect with you. Don't use it to sell the product. You can use, an ad, within your podcast series. But again, you're looking to educate them. And let's talk about the theme. You don't want to podcast like you're a business. Plan out what you want to say. Stay focused and be consistent. And think about it. What is it that your ultimate goal is? Are you trying to provide health? Are you trying to provide information? Are you trying to provide education? Are you trying to provide entertainment when it comes to your brand, your product, and your services? Or do you want to build a network? That's right. You can always create a network, a membership site, or connect others that have similar interests. Do you want to be considered as someone in the industry as an expert? So, for example, you have that product and you know what that product does for people. Let them know how to use it, when to use it, what the side effects may be, caution people on using it. Let them know all about the product. I don't care if it's lipstick or makeup or tea or whatever the case may be. Become the expert of that product. And if you are looking for sponsors outside of that product, they may be interested in partnering up with you. If you can't be, if the company is not your direct sponsor, are there others in that industry, or are there other representatives, other sellers, other people that's in that you can partner up with, and then you can support and sponsor one another. Once you've gotten down the fundamentals of a podcast, it's not that hard to do. But let's go back. I want to talk about if you're a realtor. You are a realtor, and of course you showcase homes. People have to see homes. But you can create a podcast providing new homeowners tips on what they should be looking for when they're looking for new construction, tips on what they should be looking for when someone is selling a home, what is like selling a home as is. So that's another great way to use a podcast. How to stage your home, what you should do, what smells you should have, things like that. Things to look for in real estate, especially now during the crisis of what's going on. People are going to be having difficulty keeping up with their mortgage. So maybe you can educate the current realtors that just sold a home. Perhaps you can start a podcast to help those that just started, getting into their home, and now they're trying to figure out ways to save money because of the uncertainty of the market. If you're a blogger, it's another great thing. I'm a blogger. You know I'm a blogger, dellblogger.com. Use a podcast to repurpose your content, also to promote your book, which I'm going to show you right now. Not going to get through this without promotion of the basic blogging tips for beginners. Yes, head over to dellblogger.com and click that left link banner so you can place your order. But if you're a blogger or a content creator such as myself, and you're looking for ways to reuse, repurpose your content, and if you've been blogging for a while, you have hundreds and thousands of articles that you can come on and talk about. Again, starting on the 2nd of April, I will be starting that new podcast entitled Blog Your Way to a Business Profit. I want to show you this flyer here and get your opinion on that. I know the print, my ink is not that great, so don't take a look at my face here, but blog your way to a business profit. And what I'm going to be doing is providing blogging tips and trends that will turn your passion into a profit. I'm going to start that on Thursday, the 2nd of April. And in addition to me coming on, giving you some tips, I'm going to be reaching out to some of my fellow bloggers and my fellow influencers so that they can provide tips and hints as well. And if they have a product and or a service that they can provide, I'll let them promote that as well. So again, use your blog content, reuse your blog content, create blog content based on what's going on in the world today, what's going on in your industry, what's going on in your niche. Recordings. Now, once you start recording, let people know what the show is about. And that's why show notes are so important. Make sure that you are keeping a list, keeping a copy, writing out what the show notes is about. Make sure that your content is relevant to your brand, because you don't want to be going all over the place. So for example, if I'm going to do my podcast, repurposing my content on my blog, make sure that what I'm talking about is what's in the blog post. It's in the show notes so people can follow along and go back and refer to it later. Give some useful information. Keep it short, be personable. People like to hear your voice. They want to see you. They want to hear you. They want to be a part of you. So when you're podcasting, it's your voice that's going to draw your listeners to you. So be personable. Talk the way you normally talk. You don't have to be so stoic, but just have fun with it. And again, I've said before, because there's no rules and regs on, ratings of a podcast. If it is going to be an X-rated podcast or an R-rated podcast with words that are not good for kids, please make sure that your listeners know that as well. And if you have no idea, what it is that you want to talk about, what it is that you want to say, ask your clients, ask your customers, what do they want to know more about your product and or your service? If you have a steady flow of customers, and I remember I used to sell Avon, and a lot of times when I would go to deliver my Avon, we were instructed to let our clients know that there's a new product coming out. So we would kind of say, this lotion was coming out, so forth and so on. So when you're delivering or when you're selling to your clients face to face, and you ask them, hey, what do you think about this product? What do you think would work better for you? Would you like to be on my podcast to talk about that product and or service, how it has helped you? There's another great way. You can interview your current clients. And again, they don't have to be seen. It's just a conversation. Remember, on Anchor FM, recording with friends is an option. Yes, download the Anchor FM app, either on your Android or your iOS phone. And then when you have an option to record with friends by just sending them an invitation to click that link and you'll be connected. You can do it via Messenger, texting. You can do it via email. You can just call them up and then connect them. And so much an easy way, especially now that we are social distancing from one another. So this way is a great way to connect. So when you've created those podcasts, when you've created those series, again, list out what it is that you want. Again, don't try to just sell, try to educate, and then you can sell on the back end, whatever your product and your service is. And of course, I'm talking about, with me, would be content creation, social media management, why small businesses need to be involved in social media, how to work with your clients, your customers online. So those are just a couple of things. Post your topics, let people know what's going on, let people, keep that steady schedule. Again, my book, Podcasting Your Purpose, again, contains that schedule. So not only do you have your episode numbers, you have your guest, if you have any, your topic, the day of your pre-record. Again, you can pre-record it on Zoom and upload it from an MP4 to an MP3, the date that it was published, and then any artwork, anything special. And if you have guests, make sure you give them that release form so that they are giving you permission to use their voice to promote. So again, when you are doing a product, when you're podcasting your product, try to educate, not sell. List out the pros, the cons, who should use the product, who shouldn't use the product, what kind of results that they should see, other ways in which to use the product if there are others, and also where you can get the product. And I know a lot of people like to provide free samples. That's another way to get more people to listen to your podcast. If you're offering, when you're promoting your podcast on social and you have a free sample that you want to send, make sure you include that in the description. You know, maybe people can vote on a contest. Even ask for topic suggestions, especially if you're a foodie. If you want to promote a particular food product, again, back to the teas and the coffees. How to use it, when to use it, and best ways to use it. So that's great. So post your topics, posting it to your topics, educate people about your product. Again, podcasting your product. There are so many great ways in which to do so. Again, if you want a one-on-one, I offer those free 30-minute consultation, the coaching session. Simply send me an email, info@ablakeenterprises.com. Set a schedule. We can talk about your topics. We can talk about your schedule. We can talk about your content. We can just talk about what it is to get that podcast up and running. So info@ablakeenterprises.com is the best way in which to do so. Remember, podcasting can draw traffic to your site. It can increase and broaden your brand online. And you know what? You have a vision. You have a voice, and you can literally change someone's life with that intimate conversation. I'm always talking about that intimate conversation, because when people pop these earbuds into their ears, they're choosing to pull down your content. So if you are interested in the Podcasting Your Purpose webbook, workbook, let me know that as well. If you're interested in purchasing the Basic Blogging Tips for Beginners book, let me know. I have a combination special for you as well. Talk about basic blogging. And then let me just give you a few tips from the workbook. Speak your passion, share your vision, market and create a membership site, repurpose blog and vlog content, build trust, bond and become likable, become a subject matter expert, change someone's life. That's why you want to start a podcast. So until the next time, stay smart, stay safe, and stay social at a distance, because I'll see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger. Have a beautifully blessed day. Bye-bye.